Hello there everyone, this is Fentondos here, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of what if Deku had Meliodas' powers or was the reincarnation of Meliodas. I believe the title that I put was the reincarnation of Meliodas. So the what if is going to be where I last left it off. Sorry, I've been gone for a while with my what if. I've been gone for like 3 months. That was my fault. I'm back. I'm going to be back on my regular schedules with what if. Some of my what ifs that people have been commenting to continue, I'm gonna try to redo them just to bring them back. I apologize to those comments that I didn't really answer. But yeah, the what ifs that people want me to continue, like what if Deku was raised by the old Ami King? I'll continue that one after. I'll continue that one. I just need to rewrite it. Then on everything else, every other comment, I'll check it out to see what other what if people want me to do. So yeah, this is part 2 of what if Deku had Meliodas' powers or was his reincarnation. The what if starts after Deku gets sent back to his body by Meliodas after meditating for 5 months. Deku saw his body changed a lot. He also needed a haircut because of how long his hair was. As he said, "It's been about 5 months. I have about 5 more months before I have to go to the entrance exam of that high school." Where Deku started walking home after 5 months of not being home with his mother. As Deku out of nowhere disappeared from the forest he was meditating at and reappeared at the front door of his house, which was probably like a 33-minute walk from the forest he was at. But to him it would have been a while because he wouldn't really remember how or where to go back to his home. As he said, nothing really changed here, but after saying that, Deku walked towards his door, but then when Deku opened the door, he was given a hug from his mother, who knew he was the one opening the door of the house, as she spoke to him and told him he really needs a haircut because Izuku's hair was reaching the back of his shoulders up to the lower part of his chest. As Deku said, "Yeah, 5 months of training and not bothering with my hair does this to a person." Where she laughed, but Def glared him to get a haircut, or else. "I understand. Please don't kill me." Even though Deku is not able to die, he feels like this woman would be able to do it. The next day, Deku got up and went to the mall for his haircut. When Deku arrived at the barber's, Deku Deku cut his hair short, but it was the same length as Meliodas. So basically, as you see in the image, Deku has the same length of his hair as that, making Deku look a lot like him, but with green hair. When Deku left the shop, he noticed a man and his old friend Bakugo walking from a gym. As Deku said, "Well, he has a trainer, getting him ready for UA. That's nice." As Deku looked down at his feet and remembered all the pain he endured from Bakugo attacking him as he disappeared from the view of the mall, where we see him appear in front of the door of his house. As Deku would say before entering his house, "Maybe in another life I wouldn't have to suffer so much, but I really wanted it to be this one." As Deku entered his house to his mother's cooking, as Deku would say hi, where after the hi, his mother would send him to wash his hands and get ready to eat. But then we skip to an entire new day, where nothing would have happened. Then we would keep going throughout the 5 months. Izuku would be training his mind to not lose any control over himself. Where the time to make it to the entrance exam was slowly catching up towards Deku, where we then see Deku meditating under a tree, where out of nowhere Deku's mind would start showing him both his pain and Meliodas' pain. The pain that Deku would see would be all of the times Meliodas saw Elizabeth die, and all of the times Deku would be tortured by Bakugo and his freaking handyman. As Deku would open his eyes, tears falling down. But then, but then Deku wouldn't move for a free couple of seconds, where red lightning shaping around him would start forming as Deku started screaming. But the more he did, the more power he being engulfed in. All of it being engulfed. as all of his powers started covering him in purple energy. As Deku exploded, releasing all of his power, as the chains bond to his heart broke, not managing to stop his emotions, as Deku destroyed the entire forest he was located at. And what I mean by chains bond to his heart, those are basically in this world when Deku was born, that gave Deku's power, this reincarnation, or was watching Deku with that, make sure to not let Deku use his full power by putting chains around his heart. And the chains would kill him if Deku were to release his full power, but they couldn't do it, since Deku's a version of Meliodas that was fully trained on that. As the broken chains, not managing to stop his emotion, Deku destroyed the forest, but because of that, one person who was watching him from far started running towards him to stop him. This person has been watching Deku for like the amount of for about 5 months. So yeah, dedication, real dedication. Uh, as Deku would, as I don't know where the person who was stopping Deku, kept on yelling, but he couldn't do anything. Deku kept on letting power loose, and more and more and more. As Deku would, for once, gain a bit of conscious from his emotions and look and just scroll his eyes down a bit and see a girl with black hair looking, hugging him as he heard, "You're not alone. I'll always be with you." Where Deku's mind suddenly went to Meliodas' memories, seeing Elizabeth, how quote unquote he, but it was really Meliodas, the basically deleted her body out of the world. As Deku broke into tears as he fully let go of everything, making his power go back into him or fully stop releasing any energy. But then Deku fell into the girl's hands and fell to sleep, or fell unconscious on her hands, as all of the heroes in the city appear at the location on time, or basically a bit late. But all they found is a boy and a girl holding on to each other as the heroes went closer to the destroyed area. As they saw nothing of another person or a fight happening, but all they could see was a damaged forest. Basically, if 100% of the forest, half of a city could have been destroyed if Deku would have kept releasing his power, but it was only 50% of the forest. As the heroes went, as the heroes kept on going closer, one hero who looked more tired than awake started speaking to the young lady. What and said, "Young lady, what's your name and what happened here to you and that kid?" Then she finally started speaking. "I'm Momo Yagarosu. The guy in my hand is, I don't really know, but he from afar he looked like he was in pain from his quirk overpowering him. So I came here to stop him from hurting himself with his power." As Aizawa asked, her, "Was it him who did this?" As she said, "Yeah, it was him." And yes, the hero who I'm talking about is Aizawa, or Eraserhead. As she said, "Yeah, it was him who lost control of his power and destroyed this area." But then Aizawa stared at the knocked out kid as we skip a couple of minutes where we see Deku wake up but then jump backwards because he saw a random girl who was holding him. But when he did, all he saw was a lot of top ranked heroes covering his way out as he said, "Okay, why are there so many of you gathering around me? What happened for this to happen? Young man, what's your name?" As Deku looked around and said, "I'm Isuku Midoriya, who's asking?" Where Nesu appeared and spoke, "Isuku, you destroyed an entire forest after losing control of your power, and we would like to know what is your quirk." As Deku lied and said, "My quirk is just dark matter control," lying about his power to the heroes. But then Deku locked eyes with a with Momo as he remembered the girl who stopped him from killing anyone. But then Aizawa said, "Here," giving Deku a shirt where he finally looked down and saw his shirt was deleted during the power explosion that Deku created. As he now sees why many of the girl heroes were staring at him confusedly. But then Nesu spoke, "Young man, are you going to our entrance exam next month?" "Well, I am, but..." As he said, "What do you mean entrance exam? Are you the principal?" As Nesu said, "Yes." As Deku then repeated, "Well, I am, but it looks like I won't even make it to my house with all of you gathering around me." But then Nesu waited for the heroes to move. As Deku looked and saw he was fully able to go home, but before he can leave, he appeared in front of Momo, where everyone's eyes went wide because no one saw Isuku or Deku move from his spot. "You, I don't know your name, but with how with how scared you look, I don't believe you're going to say it. But thank you for stopping me, or thank you for being there for me." Smiling at Momo before looking at Nesu and saying, "I'm going to be seeing you all in a month, so make sure not to die." Disappearing from their eyes as we see Nesu tell the heroes not to do anything to make that kid do this again. As everyone looked at Nesu and nodded, understanding what he means. Then we see Deku getting home and telling his mother what has happened to them, making her worry and laugh at the same time. But then we skip to the next month where the entrance exam is about to happen. As over the time skip, we see Deku learn to control his emotion well enough to use 50% of the power he didn't get taken away. And what I mean by 50% of the power is basically the chains that were in his heart. Even though they're broken, he doesn't have full control of his power. And this is where I'm going to be leaving it off. Thank you guys for watching. This is Phantom News here. Next week on Friday or whenever I fully finish writing, I'll be releasing the next part of, let's see, what if Deku was a reincarnation of Goku, or recreating another one of my what ifs. Whatever I see in the comments first, I'll just do that. If I don't really see anything, I'll make another part of this and Gojo reincarnation. Thank you guys for watching. This is Phantom News here, and goodbye.